Hey guys, so a while back when I was shopping for something else, I found this paper line, which is A Lady's Diary by Graphic 45. This is the deluxe collector's edition. It has stickers and chipboard pieces. I don't have them out of the bag. I took this out of the plastic bag so it wouldn't be so glary, but this is an older paper collection, and this is actually the paper collection I used in my very first set of videos here on YouTube a long time ago. So I bought it, and I decided, it kind of inspired me to want to go revisit that first set of videos. You know, when you first start out in YouTube and recording yourself, you know, you're just really unsure and you don't know what you're doing, but you've got to start somewhere. So the quality of my first videos is horrendous. The quality of what I'm showing you, you know, the techniques and stuff is good, but the actual filming of it was terrible. I know you're going to think that this is funny, but I didn't know that you had to, the camera that I was using then, I didn't know that you had to manually focus it before you started recording, because it was like fuzzy the whole time. I mean, it was just a hot mess. So it's called, I'll link it in the description box below, but I think I called it Smash a Year or Smash a Half a Year or something. Back then Smash books were really, really popular, and I think it's just really a name for a form of scrapbooking where you just take anything and everything and just slap it in there, you know, just glue it in, and no rhyme or reason. It's just like where you hold your odds and ends of things, you know, like receipts and, you know, brochures and just things like that. So, so that's what I had called it. So I actually, back then, I used to make, this is the actual cover. This cover right here is the actual cover that I made on the video. So what I did is I had already made another one because it took a long time for it to dry because of all the glue and stuff. So I had already had another one ready, so I finished it, you know, in the video I finished up with the other cover. So what I did with this one is I kept it and put in the instructions so that if I wanted to make more down the road, I had them right here. Whoa, I want this open. Oh, there we go. I had all of my instructions right here. I even have my Etsy listings from where I listed them on Etsy, and I don't have the originals because they were sold, but I have all of my directions, all of my instructions, even the colors that I used to make the paint that I put on the cover. So here is like a little mock-up of what I had done back then. Let me move this out of the way so you can see. So there was a page, there was a pocket page, and so here's what the pocket looked like, right? And so I glued it down on each side. Then there was a plastic sleeve page protector, or actually it wasn't a page protector, this was like a photo thing. So it has like an inch thing up here, and then the photo slides in on the side there. And then this was the piece left over from when I made the envelope. So when I had to cut the scrapbook paper down to make the size for the envelope, that's what this was, and that's folded in. And then here's just a piece of craft cardstock, and then the center of the signature is an envelope. When I made the envelope, I used the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. I love this thing. I don't use it that often anymore, but it's really handy. I really like it. So this exact envelope here, I did the 8 7/8 by 8 7/8 inch measurements. It's a card size is 4.5 by 6.5. So I picked that size because, you know, that's a typical size of a photo. So, you know, I was trying to think ahead. So anyway, so that was the signature. And that's what I had done way back when. I've got myself some little notes and things. I didn't glue that one down so that I could, you know, remember. Well, I decided that I wanted to revisit it because the quality was bad of the filming. And I also kind of wanted to like update it. So, you know, bring it into the year 2017. I don't remember exactly what date that I filmed that. I'm not sure if I can figure it out, but yeah. It was a long time ago. I had made 3 of them. One was for a whole year, and then 2 of them were like a half a year. But anyway, here's a picture, or here's some pictures. These were the thumbnails. So there's the pages. Right, my pictures were really good on the videos, just not the videos. There's the spines. And then, oh, there's a picture of what my setup used to look like. I used to stand right under here where the camera was way over top of me, and that was so scary. I just can't even tell you. But that's what my setup used to look like. It doesn't look like that anymore, but that's funny that this picture's in there. So anyway, so if you ever, you know, if you ever create something and you're like, how am I gonna remember how I did that? Make yourself a little folder full of all the information, because that's exactly what this is. And then I just attached it to the cover. This is a cereal box cover, a recycled cereal box. So I haven't decided what kind of cover I want to use yet for my new revamped version, but I'm just going to play it by ear. So anyway, so this is a good idea for those of you who want to revisit some of your things. You know, always make yourself some instructions, so that next time when you go to make it, it'll be easy. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. Oh, wait a minute, I better put this in there. Well, no, I'm gonna leave this out. Okay, so I'm gonna put that, the covers aside there. So what I wanted to do was, let's just go bit by bit, okay? So the original page looks like this. The original first page looked like this. And so if this was to fall down, if this wasn't glued, you know what I'm trying to say. So this is 12 by 12, okay? So when it's opened all the way up, you know, obviously this would be there. So I did a special little trim right here. So I've been thinking, and I wanted to do it a little bit differently. So this is the original page. So what I'm gonna do, let me get my paper trimmer. Oh, I don't need my paper trimmer. I don't need my paper trimmer. Yes, I do. I need my paper trimmer. Okay, I've got myself some little sticky notes here on my pages because I've already prepped the other pages. So I'm just going to make one signature with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead, I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut the information strip off of there. Again, this is A Lady's Diary by Graphic 45. I'm going to go ahead and cut all 3 pieces that I have sitting here. This was the first page, so I don't need my paper trimmer right now. I thought I would make this one a little bit different. Oh, I need my scoreboard. That was a Fisker's Precision Heavy Duty Paper Trimmer. In case you are interested, I will link anything and everything I can in the description box below, so that if you wanted to go see how much it cost, or if you wanted to purchase it or whatever, I'll link everything below. So this is a Martha Stewart scoreboard. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to score right down the middle. So this is a 12 by 12 sheet of patterned cardstock. I scored it at 6. Now I'm going to turn it counterclockwise, and I'm going to score it at 8. So then what I want to do is I'm just going to fold it in half and burnish it down. And I'm going to fold this up and burnish it down. Easy, easy. Okay, so this is where I'm going to change it. What did I do with that page? So it would look like this right now. It would actually be this way. And so what I did with this one is I just trimmed a triangle off here, right? Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it a little different. Let me show you. First, what thing I want to do. So I'm going to get my paper trimmer back out. And on the 6-inch score that I made, I'm going to go with that 8-inch score, and I'm just going to cut, you know, a 1/16 of an inch in, because I'm going to trim a little bit off of the center there so that it folds up nicely. So I'm just going to put it in here. And I'm going to try to stop it right where I need to. Yep, so there's the piece. So I cut that much off of that center score mark, or line. So now it looks like that. So there is a gap. So the pockets are going to fold up like this. Okay? I'm not going to cut it in a diagonal. I'm going to leave it like that. Because what I want to do is, let me find one that I've already made. Here's a page that I've already made. This is my revamped version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some strips out of craft cardstock, and I'm going to use a decorative punch that I'm going to put right behind there, and then I'm not going to glue it down to the sides. I'm going to cut these little labels out and have it closed like that. So that being said, I need to get some strips of craft cardstock. These are leftover pieces from all the other stuff that I've prepped, so be sure to use or to keep all of your leftover pieces because you will definitely use them. So what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is find that punch. There it is. This is the punch that I used, and this is a Martha Stewart's craft punch. I have no idea what it's called. I didn't write it down. It doesn't really say. So that's the pattern that I'm using, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down the whole length of this strip. This is a 12-inch strip by 12 inches by 4 inches. So I'm just going to start and just start punching all the way down. Whoops, I skipped one. This is a very easy punch to use. I have wrist, look, I missed it again. I have wrist issues from when I did nails for so long, so sometimes it's hard for me to use some punches, but this one is really easy on my wrist. So all you're doing is just matching up the pattern, which looks like I got off a little bit, but that's okay. Just match it up and you just keep punching, you just keep going all the way down the line. I didn't center it very well, but that's okay. Shoot. And so when I prepared all the other ones, you know, I did a whole like assembly line type deal. Okay, so let me get rid of all those little pieces. And I'm going to get my paper trimmer back out. I've got so much stuff on my surface right here, I can't leave it out. So all I really want is like a 1-inch strip. So what size is this? So I'm going to put it in this way, and I'm going to cut 1 inch off of this piece. So you really don't need that much. And then I'm going to save this for other things in this revamped version. I'm going to have to think of a name for it. I don't have a name for it yet. So then what I want to do is I'm going to take my archival ink in coffee and Tim Holtz blending tool. And I'm just going to ink everything up before I put it together. I'm going to ink this whole strip all the way down. Just like that. No big deal. It's kind of hard to see, but it is inked. The edge is inked there. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to ink the whole thing, this whole, I'm kind of calling it a folder, but it's really a pocket page. So I'm going to ink around all the edges with this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've got everything all inked up. This strip's inked up. This whole pocket page is inked up, and this is inked up. The whole thing is inked. So I don't think I inked my first set. I think I just left it raw, which is fine. But I'm really liking, this is such a vintagey type paper. I really like the way the distress ink, or the archival ink looks on the edges. Okay, so then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take some score tape. This is Sue Quain score tape. Let me get my scissors. And I'm just going to run a strip. Let's see, I'm just going to run a strip down the edge here. Not exactly on the edge, but not too close to the top there. I'm going to cut this. These are Tim Holtz tonic scissors. Love them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this underneath here like this. Right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the backing off of here, the tape backing. This is the easiest way I found to make sure that it's even though there's going to be stuff in between. I'm kind of weird like that I like stuff to be even. So since these both pieces are 12 inches, I'm just going to put it where I want it. And I could use my glue stick if I wanted to make sure that I have reposition time, and that's crooked. But that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so now I've attached it to both of those pockets. So now I'm going to flip it around, and I'm just going to trim it on each pocket. to make them separate again, right? Then I'm going to take my ink to the edges. No big deal. So there's that. And that doesn't even bother me that that's cut there. It doesn't bother me at all. So there's that part. So then the next part is the, where are they at? I'm gonna grab the page again. Is these labels that I'm gonna use to close up the pockets. When you do it this way, that gives you the use of the full pocket. So if you glue it down, that takes away about 1/2 inch, if not more sometimes, depending on. So that's why I wanted to use these little labels. So I'm gonna use a black as an accent color. And I'm gonna use this punch. This is a EK Success punch. Don't know what it's called, but it looks like that. Oh, maybe you can see my camera. Hello. I don't know what it's called. I haven't a clue. But I'm pretty sure these are still like available like at Hobby Lobby or something like that. But if I can find it, I'll link it below. Alright, now I'm going to grab another scrap. Again, these are scraps left over from when I prepared all the other stuff. So these, the black I'm using a lot as an inserts. And that's another thing. My original book, I didn't put a single insert in anything except for the plastic sleeve. I don't know. It was very strange. It was cool, but it was, I don't know. Anyway, but this one's going to have inserts. So what I need is, I need 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 4 labels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 4 out of this black cardstock. This is, what brand is this? Let me look and see. This black cardstock is Recollections black cardstock. That's what this one is. Okay, so then what I'm going to do with these labels is I'm literally just going to fold them in half. And it doesn't even matter if they match up perfectly. You just need to fold it in half. So any of these label punches that are identical on both sides, you can use for this kind of thing. So, and plus I think it just gives a little added extra something. Okay, so now I've got all 4 folded in half and burnished. And now what I want to do is I want to take my score tape again, and 2 of them I'm going to run on either side of that fold. Come on, went a little too far. I'm going to put a piece of score tape. Let me show you. Let me do it, and then I'll get it closer to the camera. And so I'm really close to where it's folded. So it's folded right there, right? So I'll put 1 on each side. And the reason for that is because I wanted to leave this open. So like when it's attached down, I wanted to leave it open. So if you wanted to slide something under there, you know, you can. So 2 of them I'm going to prepare like that. Just real quick. And then the other 2, I'm going to put a piece just like I did on the other 2, except I'm just going to do one side like that, okay? And then I'm going to flip it over like this, and I'm going to put 2 pieces on the back side of this. Hang on, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so when it's closed, it looks like this. So there's 1 piece here, right? And then on the back side, there's 2 pieces. So I'm gonna do that one, one more that way. Oh, did you see what I did? I just did that the wrong way. Shoot. All right, let me see if I can get that off of there. Look, I'm just gonna roll it off. Since I didn't press really hard, I just rolled it straight off of there. Okay, so now I want to flip it over and put the tape over here. So with all of my other pages, I kept to where they all have this part in the exact same spot. So I'm going to use this as a template. And all I did was, how did I do it? Did I have it open and use it that way, or did I just have it laying flat? I don't remember. I think I'll just do it this way. So I'm going to take one of the pieces that has a piece of score tape on either side of that fold. I'm going to take the backing off of one side, and then I'm going to slide this in here like that, and then I'm going to line everything up and match it up so that it's in the same spot as all the other pages. So I'm going to press that down. Can you see that? That's exactly what I did. So I just lined up edge to edge, and then I put the label exactly where this other label is. Okay, so then I'm going to open it up. Whoa. I'm going to flip this back open, and I'm going to take the backing off of that and fold it down. Where's my thing? Where's my thing? Ooh, I better dump that. I am working on a new printable, so I had stuff in there that... Anyways, so there's that one. So then I'm going to do this side. Take this off. That's why I've got so much stuff sitting around. So then I'm going to, without getting my head in the way, I'm going to try to match this up. Maybe if I'll tilt it up. There we go. So that it's exactly the same as its counterpart. Burnish that down, open it up. Take the backing off of here. Close that down. Okay, so now I've got those two pieces, but I still got this middle open. So that's where these pieces come into play. So what you want to do is, you want to take this piece off, this one strip off of here, like that. And then you have to guess, you kind of have to guess. For me, it's about 1/4 of an inch down. So I'm going to try to get up over here without getting my head in the way. And so then I'm just going to press that down. So then I'm going to reach under here and pull that out. And take the backing off of this. Open it up. And then press it down. Now, if you didn't want to put that whole label stuck down there like that, you could have cut some of it off. You didn't have to leave the whole thing. So now we've got that pocket. Isn't that pretty? I don't know. I just feel like it gives it something. You know, the black, it just adds a detail. So then I'm going to match this one up to its counterpart right there. Press that down. Open her up. And there we go. So now we have our pocket page, our first pocket page made. So that was easy, right? Little details just make all the difference in the world. So where's my original? Here's my original. Right? I mean, they're both good. I mean, they both look good. Whether you put ink on the edges or not, they both look good. So then when you open it up, there's the difference. So I like them both. But I like, you know, my revamped version so far a little bit better. So it's just a little more detailed, you know. So the next page in my original is the plastic sleeve. This was actually, I think, made for photographs specifically, but I don't have any more of those. So I had to come up with a new way to do it. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually show you in a different video exactly how I made them, but I'm going to show you the finished product now, just so you have a good idea. Here's my original sleeve. Looks like that, right? So when you open it up, I think it went this way or this way. I'm not sure. One of these ways it went. And I cut off the part that goes into a binder, and it has like a 1-inch strip here and then 2 pockets for 4x6 photos, okay? So, and it has like a slot for the photo here as well. So it's pretty simple, but again, I don't have any of these. Plus I want to kind of revamp the whole situation. So I even got my little notes of what I needed to do if I ever made them again. So this is what I came up with. So this is the original. And since I don't have any, I wanted to have several pockets. So I've got the inserts in here so that you can see what it looks like better. So this is made from one page protector. So there's a pocket here, right? And then there's a pocket in the middle here. And then on the other side, there is a pocket here. So it's duplicate on the same, you know, each one of these pockets is exactly the same. So there's pocket, pocket, pocket. right? So in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made this step by step. So no worries. But if you want to see how I made this, you're going to have to watch the original video. Okay, so sorry about that. But I will link them below for you. So this was pretty cool. I was pretty excited about this. You could use this for all kinds of stuff. So this is the next step in the revised version. So it kind of looks like that. And see, I'm going to make 5 signatures. So I've already made, actually made 6, because this is actually, I make a prototype, so this is actually the prototype for this whole thing. But anywho, so I've got 5 of those that are going to go inside these sleeves, or go inside these signatures, ready to go. Again, look out for that video coming soon. So the original, the plastic sleeve, then there's this little piece here, but that came from when we made the envelope, okay? So before we make the envelope and before we do this little piece, I wanted to go ahead and do this craft piece. Again, which is just a piece of craft. This was a 12 by 12 piece of craft cardstock. Pretty sure it was Hobby Lobby brand, Paper Studio, that I cut down, which is where I got the strips from, okay? So I cut it down to 8 inches tall. So let me go ahead and show you what I did for that. I'll just go ahead and do it. Let me grab a piece. Okay. Let me get my paper trimmer. My Fiskars heavy duty precision paper trimmer. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down to 8 inches. And so these are the pieces that I'm using to do those borders, so keep them. I might even be using them for something else, I'm not sure. And then I'm going to cut it down to 11.5 instead of leaving it at 12 because I didn't want it to stick out of the side too much. So I'm going to cut it down to 11.5. So I'm just basically taking a 1/2 inch off of there. Just like that. And then I'm just going to fold it in half. I could score it. I could get the scoreboard back out and fold it. But I'm just going to use the edge of my paper trimmer and fold it in half and then burnish it. So this is what I did for the last one, the original. But I thought I would take it up a notch and I'm going to punch the edges. So this is the outside edge, okay, where the book opens. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to punch all the way down each side of this. And then I'm going to ink the whole thing up with my archival ink and coffee. And then I'll be right back. Okay, so there's that page. So that will go here. Let me get my little prototype plastic sleeve here. So now we're kind of at this point. So there's the page. Open it up. There's the pocket. Plastic sleeve with pockets. So how many? That's 1, 2, 3 pockets on that sleeve. And then we have just a regular craft cardstock page with the fancy punched edges. Okay. So next, what do we have? Okay, so instead of doing those two, I'm not going to do the envelope or this little small piece, the leftover piece for making the envelope. I am going to make 2 different things. The first one I'm going to make, let me see here. Let me find one. Since I've already got them all done, I'm going to make this, which is a pocket, top-loading pocket, just like that. Okay, so it looks like this. So this page is... So we want to cut this down to 8 inch first. Oh wait, let me see what it's on the other side. 8 inches first, like that. So keep this piece, and then we want to cut it down to 10 inches. And I haven't found a use for these pieces yet, but I will. We'll see. Okay, so this piece, this leftover piece, we're going to cut this down to 4 by 6. So it's already 4. So we just need to cut it down to 6. And what we're going to do with these is we're going to make these inserts. So again, we're going to take this punch I am going to center it. Oh, yeah. I'm going to center it. Okay, so I'm going to do both of them the same way. Then I'm going to ink them up, and then those is what goes in the front pocket here of these plastic sleeves. So I'm going to do both of those the same way, and I'm going to ink them up, but I'm going to set them aside for right this second. Okay, let's go back to this. So we have this, so now I need my scoreboard. So what you want to do is you want to score it. On the 8-inch side, you want to score down on the 4-inch mark, which is basically just fold it in half. So you do that, and then turn your paper on the 10-inch side and score it at 5. Just like that. Okay, so then we want to fold it over, burnish it down, open it up, fold it over, burnish it down. So again, like we did with this page here, how we took that notch out of the center, I'm going to do the same thing to this, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I got that all trimmed out like that. I wanted to point something out to you. I love graphic 45 pattern paper, but it is thin. So I scored too hard, and you see where I ripped that? I'm not going to stress over it right now. I could, because you're not going to see it, I could probably put a piece of tape. Let's just try that and see what happens. Just put a piece of tape right there to keep it from unraveling further. Maybe I'll do both sides. So you have to be a little careful. Don't be so heavy-handed when you're scoring graphic 45 paper, because again, it'll tear really easily. So I'm going to ink all the edges of this, and I'll be back. So I'm going to prepare both of these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got these ready to go. I've got them all inked up. I'm going to put these with the inserts for the plastic sleeve pile, since I've already got all of those prepared. So I've got a whole bunch ready to go. So I figured I'd just mix and match when I go to, put all the signatures together. So I'm just going to add these in the mix here. My thingy needs to be changed. My blending tool, I'm losing pieces. So I'm going to stick those over there. And so here is my little pocket page that's up next. So we're going to do the exact same thing with these black labels that we did for this on here. So I'm going to go ahead and get those labels ready, and then I'll come back when I go to put them on. Okay, so I've got the labels prepared the exact same way I did for the first pocket page, but these I did add one more, because this is what we did on the pocket page, right? So then I added one that I'm gonna cut in half and put there, just for symmetrics. I guess I could probably do it to make it symmetrical here, but I just didn't want to. I don't know why. This is what I decided to do. So I added one more label, and I put tape on either side of the score mark, but I'm going to cut it in half, so when I add it to the back side here, there's no bulk in there at the fold. Okay, so the same thing. I'm going to use this as a template so that they're all the same. I don't know. You don't have to do that. Yours don't have to all be the same. Let's make sure I've got the top. There we go. I'm just kind of weird like that. I like everything to be, like if this label was down here a little bit, that would drive me nuts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the ones that has just 2 strips on either side of that score mark. I'm going to line this up. Let me get this on here first. Line that up, match it up, and then I'm going to slide it down, match until it is the same location as my other one. Right? So then I'm going to flip it over and take that other backing off, press it down. So now we got one side closed, so let's do the other. Oh, I better do it this way now. So again, I'm going to take the one that has tape on either side of the score fold mark. I'm going to lay that in there like so. Well, let me hold it up so I can see. Good grief. And I'm going to match it up. I chose to go about 1/4 of an inch down from the top. You do whatever you want. If you want it to be in the middle, then put it in the middle. But I just really like the way this is looking. I think it's really cool. Okay, so now we got both of those sides covered. So this is the part that's going to be sewn into the signature. So again, same thing. I'm going to take the backing off of the inside of this, just the one strip. And I'm going to guess, I'm going to eyeball it again to be about 1/4 inch. Oh, I put the tape on wrong. Ah! I bet you I put the tape on wrong the other one too. Okay, so I'm just going to try to roll this off. Did I? I did. That is twice. I don't know what's gotten into me. Or 3 times, really. Take that off. I'm going to roll this off. I don't think you can do that with just any cardstock, so just keep that in mind. You want it to be on the opposite flap. So there's what those 2 pieces are. So we want it to be on the inside of the opposite flap. Okay, now let's take the backing off. Let me bring my thing closer. Let's try it again. So we're going to eyeball it. I had it on there pretty good too. About 1/4 inch. Pull this part out. Take the backing off. Flip it back in there and push it down. So then we're going to match this one up over here. So, you know, what I did when I was making the other ones, I just did them all at the same time. So I went through and made all of the pockets. Then I went through and added all of these labels. Do you see what I'm saying? So it was kind of like an assembly line type deal. And we're going to lay that one down just like that. So now we've got that. And then we've got that. So what I decided to do was add this piece. So, oh wait a minute, I'm going to cut it in half first. All the other ones I didn't cut it very straight, but I'm going to try. So we're just going to cut it in half. And then I'm going to take the backing off and I'm going to eyeball it to be about 1/4 inch down from the top. I'm going to butt it up right next to that score mark or that fold. I'm just going to add that there. And the other one, take the backing off. I could do it to the page, but I just didn't want to. I don't know why. Oh. Again, butt it up, match it up, push it down. So now that's what it looks like on the outside. So you can put stuff underneath there. You know, there's room where you can tuck stuff under. So I like that idea. So then there's that pocket page. And it's not, again, don't pay attention to this one. This isn't exactly how the pages are going to go. This is just the paper I picked out. So it's going to look like that. That's going to go on this side of that craft, right? So we've got the pocket, then we've got the plastic sleeve, we got this little pocket that opens on top, and then the craft piece, and then we're going to do the center. Okay, so the center of my original is an envelope. I'm not going to do an envelope. I am going to do something that looks like, let me get one of them that I've already made so I can show you what the end result's going to look like. It's going to look like this. Okay, so this is the center. This is not closed. So this part will be sewn into the signature to close the signature off. And then there's a pocket here, right? So then it'll close like this. And then when you flip it, boop, there's a pocket here. Okay, so this way it closes both top and bottom and creates 2 pockets and hides the stitching or the knot on the inside of the signature. So this is what we're going to make instead of an envelope. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna make this pocket here. This is the center pocket instead of the envelope. So I have a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock here, and you need to pay attention to the way, if there's a pattern, the way it goes, because you want it, it's going to be folded this way, so you want to make sure that if there's a pattern, it needs to be going the right way. If it's going this way, they're going to be sideways. You see what I'm saying? So what you want to do is, since I've got a pattern on this, I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces of 6 by 12. Simple, simple. Just 2 pieces of 6 by 12, like that. Oops, that's okay. That looks weird, but again, okay. So one of these pieces, I'm going to cut into 3 pieces that are 4 by 6. So these are also going into the plastic sleeve as inserts. So nothing goes to waste. And so I'm also, again, I'm going to punch the top with my fancy punch here. I'm going to ink them all up and I'm going to add them to the pile of the other inserts. So for now, I'm just going to set it aside. Okay, and so for this piece, I don't need my paper trimmer anymore. But I do need my scoreboard. So what you want to do is you want to score it at 3.5 and 8.5. So easy. And then let's see, how do I want this to go? Yeah, so this one I'm going to score this way. I'm sorry, I'm going to fold up this way. So this will be the front pocket, the first pocket. Then I'm going to flip this one this way and fold it the opposite way. Okay, so this is the front pocket, and then it flips, and then here's the back pocket. All right, so then I need to ink this up on both sides. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've inked it up on both sides, and I inked the edges. So I also have prepared another strip of the border punch on the craft cardstock, just like I did for the main page here, the exact same way. Actually, I might have inked it a little more. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it along this edge right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the backing off of this entire thing. Not be stressed about it. And I'm just going to lay it on here and line it up to the edge there and try to get it not crooked like I did the other page. And I'm just going to press it down just like that. And then I'm going to trim it off. I'm going to ink that edge before I forget, right? So there's one. There's one side. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to use the other piece to do the exact same thing. Like that. And it should fit perfectly because it's a 12-inch piece. Just like, you know, so it should be 6 and 6. Oh, my battery's about ready to die. So I've got both of those decorative edges on there. It looks good. So then I've already prepared my 2 labels to close it. So I'm going to add these the same way. I'm going to get one of my other ones out. I'm going to take the backing off of one side. And I need to do it the other way. I need it to attach to here. Okay. So it's right in the middle, but I just want to make sure they're all the same because I'm weird like that. Okay, whoa. So I'm not going to attach it down to the other side yet because I need it to be open so we could sew it into the signature. So there's one side, so it's only attached to this back side right here, but not to this front side. Okay, so let me do one more. Okay, I had to change my battery. Sorry about that. I don't know where it cut off. But so you want to make sure that you leave it open on one side so that we can stitch this part. And then when we're done, we will close it up and it'll look like that. Okay, so then there's that. So let's put that in here. So that goes in the center like that, right? So the only thing now left we need to do is all of these get inserts, but they're all black. They're all going to be black. I didn't want to use a bunch of the pattern paper. I just thought that the black looked nicer, I guess. So I made a bunch of inserts. So let me get my black cardstock out here. Again, this is Recollections black cardstock. Let me get my paper trimmer. The first insert we're gonna do the tall plastic sleeve insert. So that one is actually 4 inches. Let's do it like this. 6 3/4 by 4 inches. So we're gonna cut the 6 3/4 first, like that. And we're gonna turn it and cut 2 pieces that are 4 inches wide. So there's 2 per signature and there's 5 signatures, so you need 10 of these, right? I wonder if we can use this piece here. we can. So let's cut this piece to 6 3/4. Like that. And then 4 inches. So again, you're going to need 10 of these pieces. And then, let's see, where's the, so that goes in the plastic sleeve. So then the next one is the insert that goes here. And that one's pretty simple, straightforward. Let me get some more black cardstock. Okay, so the insert that goes into the main pocket is 7 by 4.5. So I'm going to cut it down 7 this way, like so. And then I'm going to cut 2 pieces that are 4.5. There's 1. There's 2. So this will be good for 1 signature, right? So 1 will go here in this pocket, and then 1 will go in the back pocket, right? Okay, so then we need an insert for that. Okay, so this one measures 4 1/4 by 4 3/4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into 4 1/4, like that. And then I'm going to stack them on top of each other, and then cut 4 3/4 and 4 3/4. So that's 4 inserts there, but I only need 2 per signature. So that will go right here, like that. Oops, wrong way. It goes this way, like that, okay? So then we've got 1 more insert, or actually 2. We got to cut for the center double pocket. Okay, so this one, it measures 4 3/4 by 5.5. So I'm going to cut it to 4 3/4 this way. And then I'm going to cut this to 5.5. So it'll give me 2. And these inserts go into the center pocket. They go like this. And then we're going to punch the top of this so that it looks even prettier. So, and keep all your pieces, because you can use these for your labels and stuff. So what I did was I cut everything and then I punched my labels, if that makes sense. So with this last one we punched, it's going to go in the center pocket. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and punch the side of this one. It's hard to see. I can't get my head up over top of it to make sure it's lined up correctly, but so this one will go in here like this, right? And then the other one is going to go in here. So that's that one. Let's see here. And then, is this the piece? This is the piece that goes into this little pocket here. Let me bring this out here. That goes in here. And you want the longer side. I'm pretty sure this is the piece. Yep. So this is, you know, the width is, what is the width? The width is 4 1/4, and then the height is 4 3/4. So on the 4 3/4, or I'm sorry, on the 4 1/4 part. Oh, that's not right. You want to punch the top like that, and then that will go in here like that. Okay, so we got that. And then this long piece, the same thing. You want to punch the end. Whoops, here it is. You want to punch this end. Oh, you can't even see. Whoop. Sorry about that. It's just kind of to give it like a cohesive look. I thought about layering it. Oh, I'm not even going to put that in there, but that's where that would go, that center pocket there. And then the same for this insert that goes here. You just want to punch the top. Like that, and then it goes here. And I thought about matting this because I did the measurements. You could put a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mat, and I still might, but for right now I'm just gonna leave it be. So you could put a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mat, and then you could put a 4 by 6 photo on top of that. So, but for now I'm just gonna leave it like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything punched and then try to get the signatures in some sort of order, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've got all 5 signatures put together and ready to go, and they're all the same. I mean, they have different pattern paper, but they all have the same pages in them. So there's the first page, there's the pocket page, the plastic sleeve. This video will be next, this plastic sleeve, how to make this plastic sleeve that has 3 pockets on each page. Here's this little page here, this little pocket flip. I might have to put some more stuff in there so it's not so loose. And then there's the craft page, and then there's the middle of the signature. So every one of them have their inserts in them already, but I'll probably end up taking those out when I sew it into the covers that we're gonna make. So there's the other side, and there's the plastic with the inserts, and another insert. So they all look the same. I just went through and put them together and added the inserts where they needed to be added. So I'm gonna leave this video here. We're gonna stop now on this video, and like I said, the next one will be how to make those plastic sleeve pockets right here, this page right here. That'll be next up. I'll try to link anything and everything I can in the description box below. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and be sure to check out the videos that I posted from my very first YouTube videos. Oh my gosh. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit this button right here and check out these other videos. And I'll see you next time. Bye.